So I'm just going to start by filling in her eyebrows. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in Ebony. This is my go-to when I don't have my pencils on hand. I'm using an angled brush with a spoolie on the end. I got this brush from AliExpress. I'm going to list all the products in the description as well for you guys. This part I'm just kind of spooling out the brows. Now don't be afraid if your brows look kind of crazy, your client's brows look kind of crazy at this stage, because we're going to clean them up with concealer and it'll look so much better. So if they look like that, don't worry. But I'm using the LA Girl Pro Concealers from Chestnut and Toffee. I'm going to mix them together and put them on her eyelid. Now once I'm done doing that, I'm just going to spread her concealer out with a C469 crown brush. I am not completely sure if that was the right number, but I'm going to link it in the description as I said before. So I'm just going to carve out her brows with this brush using that concealer that I placed on her eyelids. Just go around them. I mean, if you guys want like a detailed eyebrow tutorial, let me know in the comments and I will do that for sure. But I'm just going to speed this part up a little bit. So I'm now going to take my beauty sponge. I got these from shopmercier.com, and I'm just going to dab out the concealer on her eyelids to blend it out so it doesn't look so wet and like, you know, cakey. So once I blend that out, I'm just going to blend out the eyebrows a little bit more with this brush I got from Real Techniques. I think it's like a crease brush or something like that. But I blend out the edges of the concealer on the top and the bottom. Well, on the eyelids and above the brows. Now I'm going to take my Helen E eyeshadow primer. This is a UK based brand, so when ordering it you might be looking at a little bit of a wait, but it only takes like 2 weeks. I'm using a flat brush to apply this on her eyes, and then I'm going to blend it out with my Shop Mercier sponge again. I'm using the opposite side that I used for the concealer. And now I'm taking my Afrique, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but this orange palette from Juvia's Place, and I'm going to take the 2 orange shades in that palette and I'm just going to use those as my transition color. I am now going to take this eyeshadow by Coastal Scents. It's called Choclatier. Now when I tell y'all this is my favorite brown color, like this is the perfect brown shade. It's warm, not too cool. It's the perfect brown shade. So I put that all over her eye. And then I'm taking my P. Louise base, shade 1 I believe. And I'm going to put that all over her eye, blending it out on the lid. Girl, yes, you gotta make sure them edges is blended. Blend out the edges to your eyeshadow so that there's no harsh lines. So now I'm going in with the same blending brush that I used on her eyelids, and I'm not using any excess product, but I'm just taking what was left on the brush and blending out the edges to the P. Louise base. Then I'm taking my NYX glitter and I'm stippling it on with a small blending brush. I'm going to take my J. LaRue Cosmetics White Gold Pigment and apply it onto her eyelid. Now the brush I'm using, it's a Wet n Wild brush. It's not like a blending brush and it's not a flat brush, so it's kind of in between, and I wanted that because it goes on not as it doesn't apply as thick, I feel like, than with the flat brush. So for this part, I'm just going to take my NYX matte black eyeliner and I'm going to use that to draw a wing, and I'm going to speed this part up as well because it might take forever if I don't, but I'm just going to let you guys watch. I'm not going to do too dramatic of a wing, but it's going to be like regular. Then I'm going to put the inner corner cat eye as well. So right here I'm taking my duo eyelash glue. This is actually the same glue I use to apply eyelashes on my clients, and I'm going to use that for the bottom. I'm using, I want to say, superglitters.com glitters. I'm not completely sure of the name, but I'll put it in the description. I mixed that with the white gold pigment so it could look kind of similar to the top, and I'm just applying that at the bottom with an angled brush, and I'm going to wipe that away with the baby wipe and Neutrogena liquid makeup eye remover, and use a Q-tip as well for like the more detailed areas. So I applied some Milk of Magnesia. That's just to keep the makeup on longer. And then I'm going to take this foundation, which is by Nars. It's the Natural Radiant one. And I'm going to take that shade New Caledonia, and I believe, yeah, I mixed it with Maybelline Fit Me 370 Deep Bronze, I think it was. And I'm just going to apply that with the Real Techniques Instapop brush. I love these brushes. Kiki put me on, Kiki Adams on Instagram. I love these brushes for face like applying foundation. It blends out so well. So I'm just gonna put that on. Be sure not to like rub, just like bounce, like, and use the beauty blender as well to blend it out, because I feel like that gives me a more smooth finish. So I'll go back and forth between the sponge and the brush, but never swipe. Okay, so I know this is Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, but I'm not completely sure of the color. It could be, what is that? Deep Sand? I'm not even sure. Oh wait, maybe I'll show the color. Am I going to show the color? It might be Deep Sand or Deep Honey, one of those. But I'm going to take those concealers that I used on her eyebrows, Chestnut and Toffee, and I'm going to apply those as well. I mixed them just because I like the Elegant Pro concealers because they're a little less matte. They don't dry as much as the Tarte concealers. And I'm going to take the Black Opal foundation stick and I use that as contour. I'm not completely sure what shade I used. I think it was Black Walnut, and I'll list that in the description box as well, just in case you guys want to get some. I really like them. I use these on all my clients. I just have different shades, of course, for different skin tones. So as you guys can see, I like to blend out the contour first, and then I go in and blend out the concealer. So after I blend out the contour with the sponge, I take the foundation brush and I go back over it. And then I go over those places that I placed the concealer, and I use the opposite side that I was blending out the contour with. And I blend out the concealer, and then after this I'm going to go back in with that foundation brush just to blend out the edges, because you don't want any harsh lines. Like when you take a picture, flash or anything, you don't want to see like where you put your concealer and where you put your foundation, where you put your contour. Like you want everything to be a smooth blend. So we're going to go back in with the foundation brush after I'm done blending out the concealer. You guys will see. Here I'm just taking my L'Oreal Mercier Translucent Deep, and what I do, so like when I do glitter under the eye, I take a flat brush and I apply the setting powder very precisely like under the glitter, so I don't mess that up, because if you take the sponge, chances are you're going to go over the glitter and it's going to mess up. So I take a small brush and I just go over it like such in the video, and I'm going to take the sponge and just get the bigger areas, but I never put the sponge like directly under the eye because it's going to mess up all that hard work we did like trying to put the glitter down. So that's just a tip. If you do glitter under the eye first, don't use the sponge because it'll mess it up. Use a small brush to apply it. Now I'm going to take my Black Radiance contour palette and my Covergirl Ebony Queen bronzer, and I mix those two, and I take a small setting brush and I apply the contour. So I do this because it makes the contour look a little bit stronger if I use a small, you know, like dense brush like this, and then I'll go back in at the end with the like an angled brush that you would typically use for contour. But I do this first, place it over, because it makes it more structured, I feel like, and more like deep. And I like that. Also, if you notice, putting that foundation stick down first will make the contour appear darker, which is why I do that. A lot of people don't see a reason to cream contour, but it definitely helps like make that contour darker. So I'm going to take my MAC Mineralized Skinfinish now and just tap in that setting powder with a different brush. This is not the same brush I used to contour, but I'm going to tap in that powder, kind of swipe in slash tap in, like you can tell I'm swiping a little bit, but technically I just kind of want to push that powder into the skin. It helps like absorb oils throughout the day, and it also, I think it gives it more of a smooth finish. So I don't like swiping away powder without using another powder. So this one, it helps like with flashback and absorbing oils, all of it. It's just a win-win. So I would suggest using a face powder when dusting away your loose setting powder. Just spraying her face with some Mario Badescu, and I try to protect the eyes because the eyeliner gets wet and then it transfers. So I'm going to contour her nose with the same two things I used to contour her face. Take a small brush. I don't know, I just use, I guess, any eye brush that looks like it'll work. I don't have any recommendation, but I'm going to use this e.l.f. blush. This is the dark palette, and this is the darkest shade in the palette. I love this blush palette. I use it on myself and all my clients. I'm using Choclatier for the bottom. I'm just going to blend that into the glitter so it looks kind of seamless. And then after this, I believe, oh yeah, I'm going to take the orange and blend that under the glitter liner. This all just helps it to like coordinate with the top. Then I take this Black Radiance pressed powder. This is just to brighten up the under eyes if I feel that they're looking a little too dull, and it brightens them up. And I just dust it away, kind of pat it in slash dust it away, and it brightens up the under eyes and it looks nice. I'm putting that in all the places that I highlighted, guys. So basically all the places that I put concealer, I'm going to put that powder just to bring some light back to those areas of the face. Then everybody's favorite part, I'm going to put some highlighter on her. I'm using, I want to say, what is it called? Oh, Dose of Colors Royal Hotness. There we go. Royal Hotness. Yep, I got it in my hand. And then I'm using Brandy Da Vinci. I believe that's how you say it. It's a UK brand. I'm using another highlighter by them. I don't know the shade because it didn't come with shades on it, but I can see if I can find it online and then link it in the description if you guys are really interested in it. But I'm mixing those two, put it on her cheeks. And what I do with highlighter typically is I usually wet the brush to give it like a little bit extra shine. I put it above her lip, on her cheeks, like the high points of her cheeks, and I ask my clients to smile when I do this part because it helps me to know where to place it. And then in a second I believe I'm going to put it on her nose as well because I love highlighting the nose. It's my favorite part. I just put some mascara on her lashes to blend it a little bit better. For the lips, I used NYX Espresso Lip Liner. I'm sorry I didn't record it. And MAC Gash Ab, which is my go-to nude for all my clients, like all my brown skin clients. And then I put a clear gloss on top. It's not any specific clear gloss, just like a hair store one. And that is it. I believe I sprayed her face one more time. That was it though. I was completely done. Tell me what you guys think of the look, please. Hope you like it. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you guys want to see more of on my channel. I'm gonna be recording more often now. Yeah, isn't she so pretty? Shout out to my girl for coming over and modeling for me. I appreciate it.